you little beauty. Welcome to another Gaz Right video and welcome back to the Australia series. If you do find this video useful, please do drop a subscription down below. We're just going to be walking, talking and giving you all the intel on Darwin. Is it good? Is it bad? Where to stay? What to do? What national parks to go to? And yeah, just a little bit of reflection on the last 4 days we've been exploring here. So a little bit of context, because Darwin's probably not the top of most people's list when you think, oh, I'm going to Australia, but myself and Em, aka the King, we went to Timor Leste. We went from Bali to Timor Leste to Darwin. It's the only place in Australia you can fly to from Timor Leste. So we thought, you know what, why not go get another city explored, ticked off the old list whilst we're at it. Didn't really have too many expectations, too many thoughts, don't know anyone that's been here. So yeah, really sort of clean slate in that. And yeah, been really pleasantly surprised. I thought it's an absolutely beautiful little spot, very different to what I thought, a lot more built up, a lot more going on, and the weather here is unbelievable. This is the middle of winter in Darwin, Australia, and it's been like 33 to 37 degrees every single day, so could be a positive, could be a negative, depending on which way you look at that. It is extremely hot, so if you are going to do any activities exploring, make sure factor 30 is absolutely lathered onto you, and make sure you have lots of water and stuff as well. In terms of like Darwin, the centre, I think there's two nicer sides. I call it like the Bayside, where all like the cruise ships go into, and then obviously the marina side, where we're just kind of walking, exploring. Right now, that's where myself and Em have stayed. You've got a beautiful marina, unbelievable boats, yachts, and that's where you can do a lot of like the day trips out to sea as well. This is a lovely little spot for a sunset. There's a place called Fin and Tonic. Get yourself in there. You're gonna have to pay about 14 English pounds for a nice little fish and chips. But yeah, unbelievable setup. The King did describe it as the best fish and chips she has ever bloody had. So there you go. Is it worth £15? I'll let you be the old judge of that. But yeah, lovely spot. You've got the sun coming down in the distance. You've got a few boats going across. And yeah, the sun falls out the sky. And then after the sunset, you're just enchanted. You're just treated to the pinks, the reds, I was going to say greens, absolutely not. Just all these fiery colours and purples up in the old sky. So that's a lovely little spot for the old sunset. Would definitely recommend doing that. In the centre of town, something that I didn't think I would be recommending is a place called Croc Cave, which, as it says on the tin, is like a crocodile or reptile focused I guess like park or like zoo type thing, to be honest. It's got a big conservation focus, and obviously that is obviously Darwin as well, obviously bringing back the crocodile population. Super insightful, super knowledgeable. It is £20 to go in there, and generally I don't really like stuff like that, so for me to stand here, sit here and say that it's bloody good, do take that as a real big positive. The rest of the centre of town, I'm just going to describe it as very similar to like Blackpool, to be 100% honest. So do you know what I mean? It's not going to absolutely blow you away. There's a few places to fire up a few drinks. If you want a nice little lean, a nice little nutritious lunch, get yourself over to Fat Tuna. Silly behaviour in there with the kind of salads they're offering. We're going to go grab that as our last day before yeah, we head over to Cairns a little bit later. But yeah, in terms of that centre, I do think there are parts of it, it's a little bit on the old rundown side, but you know what I mean, you compare it to a lot of the places we've travelled to this year, again, it's absolutely fine. It's been a bit different, to be honest, as well. We've not really engaged with, I'd say, too many local people. We've just been off exploring in the day. And I think it's very different. Like when you go to like a non-English speaking country and you speak English, people kind of engage you more. When you're in Australia, everyone speaks English, so it's not like, oh, you're a super foreigner or tourist or anything like that. So yeah, maybe that will be different to what we've kind of experienced. In terms of like the Bayside, where like the big cruise ships come into, they've got like a little man-made like man-made beach. Is like a place where you can go and do all like the inflatables on the water. They've got a wave pool which looks absolutely unbelievable. I've got a little day vlog on Darwin Town Centre, which is like 3 videos ago, so if you're gonna go back and check that and have things brought to life a little bit more, you can go check that out. And yeah, there's a little man-made yeah, beach there, sit out, have a nice little drink, loads of little cafes and little bars, a lovely little setup. So I think if you are going to stay here, stay on one of the two sides, marina side or the Bayside. Obviously I've loved the marina side because, yeah, you've got a ridiculous spot literally just behind me here for the sunset, and yeah, just beautiful blue coloured waters, loads of different sort of bird life, and yeah, for me, everywhere we go, if there's a good sunset, that is always going to be top of the list. And then in terms of like exploring, there's kind of two main national parks here, Kokuda and Litchfield. We ended up going to Litchfield twice because we looked at Kokuda. We're going to do 1 day in each because we're only here for 4 days, but it worked out it's like 3 full days. But Kokuda, to do any of like the best things, like the best waterfalls, like the best walks, the best hikes, you were looking at like 5 hours of driving. This is from the centre of Darwin, probably like 3 hours there, 2 hours within the park, and then the same on the way back. So you think 10 hours of driving plus 8 hours of exploring, you know what I mean? That is an absolutely outrageous day. So what we ended up doing is go to Litchfield, we explored that, and then we made the call the second day to go back to Litchfield. I think you could do both days what we did in Litchfield in the same day. So if you set off at like 6 a.m, went and explored all day, you could do all of them. I think it's a bit different to a lot of the places that I've been to, where there's kind of say like 10 points of interest, and you could drive, and all the walks and hikes and exploration to get to the lookout, the plateaus, the viewing decks are all quite small. So and there's more, some of them that are more and less accessible. So just have a look at that. I've got someone cutting grass over there, so hopefully you can't hear that. We'll get back walking and talking. 6 minutes in, the arm is in absolute disarray. So yeah, Litchfield National Park, beautiful, different things. If you did want something a bit more extreme, because I think that we kind of wanted something in between the two. We wanted a little bit of like something we can do on a day trip, something where we can explore, but the hikes weren't very long. So I think the longest one we did was like 5-6 kilometers, something like that. Lovely little pools to kind of swim in, explore, and then yeah, there are some that especially we did on the first day. Obviously you can go back and watch these on the channel because I've got actual day vlogs on them all, but especially that first day, like we didn't see anyone until we got to like the top of the point. The second day was a little bit busier with like the pools and stuff. I would also just be aware it is croc country over here, so yeah, do bear that in mind when you're out in these places and going in the old water. They have them shot in certain places, like they redirect them, or there's low risk, but I mean low risk of being attacked by a crocodile is not no risk. So yeah, obviously just keep that on the old mind. But if you did want to split it up, do 2 days, I think that is absolutely fine. It's about 1 hour 15 to the park, and then depending on how far in you go, yeah, obviously that's gonna change the amount of time we wanted to get back, enjoy a few beer warries, enjoy the old sunset on the harbour. So yeah, I mean, it's a lovely little spot. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to tell you as well that Australia is more expensive than Timor Leste. It's more expensive than Southeast Asia. So if you are going to come here, make sure you've saved up a little bit more. We're probably going to be spending double here in comparison to what we're spending in Bali and Indonesia. Actually, no, to be thinking about it, maybe even triple, quadruple, because obviously the accommodation's a lot more. You're probably looking at like £50 a night, and we're just staying in somewhere super standard. Or if you go out for the day, obviously we rented a car, petrol, food's a lot more expensive, but it has been really nice. Some of the food, I mean, I don't need to be as worried about the nut allergy and that sort of stuff. So that has been a huge positive, and just getting some fruit, getting some nutrientes into the old bones. Not really had much salad, fruit, veg for a little while, so it's good to get back on the horse. And yeah, obviously just been exploring, so you definitely need that as well. Again, just check this view out behind. Jet skis, beautiful blue water, absolutely ridiculous behaviour. So yeah, that's just G-dubs. Overview, outro, insight. If you have found it useful, if you do have any more questions, just bang me a message in the comment. I'll literally respond to every single message. We fly to Cairns this very evening, so we're going to be getting in amongst it a little bit of, yeah, boat trip action, a little bit of the old barrier reef. I think the weather's going to get progressively worse as we move down the country, because obviously it is the middle of August here, but again, we're 35 degrees I think today. I think Cairns about 26, so you know what I mean, the ginger, the northerner and the general for a short time will be fine with that. And obviously meeting up with the team down in Sydney. If you enjoy what you see, hit the subscribe button. The lid's going crazy in the wind. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. It's going to be a day exploring Cairns. And remember, the chef, he's always cooking.